Hello and welcome to the very first Echoverse Unlimited show. I'm very excited to announce that this is a new show that I'm bringing to the Twisted Echo YouTube channel every Sunday at 5 p.m. Hopefully, we can stick to that. Today's episode is going to be on the best and worst of 2021. So, Happy New Year, you lovely people. I hope it was a great one filled with joy and family and great food. So, yeah, Happy New Year. I can't wait to see what 2022 brings all of us. So, we're going to start with a news section, which is going to go into the best and worst news stories that I've seen of 2021. There may be many more that I've missed, and if you want me to comment on them, please put them down in the comments, and I will be replying and voicing my opinions on that. So that's what you can do if you feel like I've missed something out. And that also goes for games. I can't promise that I've played it, but I will do a bit of research and then come back to you on what my thoughts are on it. Maybe do a gameplay trailer or something. So yeah, I want you guys to interact with this just as much as I am making it, so then we can sort of build a conversation about the stuff in this video. And obviously, if you have an opinion that disagrees with me, please do comment it down below, and I will more than happily explain my points, or if you have any questions, etc., etc. That's the point of the show. So the first story that we're going to go on to today from 2021 is one that isn't going to affect us massively until 2023. However, it was announced that the Star Wars exclusivity contract that Disney has with EA is coming to an end, and I could not be happier. Battlefront has its merits, as does Star Wars Fallen Order, but I think Star Wars is a franchise that really needs diversity and support from loads of different developers to help really tell different stories that this massive universe can provide. And I think that's what makes this so exciting. We've already seen and heard rumors of Ubisoft are making their own Star Wars game, which is quite exciting. Hopefully they don't make it like some of their other games recently and instead decide to take a fresh spin on it. That would be great. We've also seen Quantic Dream at the Game Awards announce Star Wars Eclipse, which looks amazing. I can't wait to see more of that. The gameplay, I'm sure, is going to be just as engaging. I, for once, kind of hope that it's not going to be based on Jedis. I quite like the bounty hunter ideas and the Rebel Alliance and stuff like that. So I'd love to see that told in the game instead of obviously just the generic lightsabers. But I know I might be in the minority there because a lot of people really, really like lightsabers. Which, I mean, I can't blame them. I also find them sick. So that's something exciting to look forward to. I'm sure we'll hear from many more developers. Hopefully some indie ones as well. I'd love to see an indie, maybe a smaller Star Wars game. I think that could be really fun if done correctly. So that's the hope. And I'm really excited to see what the new year and next year brings to Star Wars. Next is a little bit of a sadder story and one that really hurt me as I read and learnt more about it, and that was the Activision and Blizzard lawsuit. It was filed on July the 20th, 2021, in California by the Department of Fair Employment and Housing after a year-long investigation turned up a lot of allegations and evidence of women being harassed and abused while working at the company. And this was daily abuse, which is awful. And there was no support system in place. And it was just a absolute shit show. Over 2,000 current and former Blizzard and Activision employees have penned a letter to the company's management calling its response to the lawsuit abhorrent and insulting, which I think it was. It was handled awfully even after the lawsuit came out, which is just not good for a company that size. Like, you'd think with everything going on in recent years, they would have had a streamlined and strong approach to this, a good HR department, something that can take these allegations seriously and make sure that they are handled appropriately, and it just was not, to put it mildly. And I think it's highlighted that in the games industry, my industry, and several others, is just misogyny is very widespread. Abuse is malignant and it spreads everywhere. And I think it's just very toxic as an environment. So we all, as a loving community, need to start pushing back against that, and I would be happy to do my bit. If you guys know any charities or anything that can help people like that, and I'd love to know. And if any of this has affected you personally, then I would like to express my deepest condolences. I hope you get the help that you need, and whoever committed the abuse or harassment gets brought to justice, no matter how powerful they are. But it's not just in that company who have expressed outrage. As I'm sure many of you know, it's been around the internet like mad. But officially, 500 current and former Ubisoft employees have penned a letter to their management, saying they stand in solidarity with their workers and demands response from their own leadership, and calls for systematic change across the entire industry, which I could not agree with more, and applaud these very brave workers who have penned this letter, and I hope real change comes of it. Also, some heavy hitters from Xbox and Sony, PlayStation, have also written an email to their employees condemning the allegations, and I think that is really good as well for the cause, making sure two of those biggest companies in the game industry are in fact getting their employees and letting their employees know that they will not stand in for those sorts of abuse and harassment in their company. And I think that's really important for many CEOs of all the industry, throughout the industry, to come forward and say that to their staff, because it might not mean, obviously actions speak louder than words, but it does provide that little bit of a force. It's like in writing, so they have to stick to it basically, otherwise they are fucked, which I hope they would. And finally, we're going to talk about how 2021 was a year of so many game delays. So many great games have been delayed till the next year or the year after that. Just to name some few: Diablo Immortal, Life is Strange Remastered, Ghostwire, Lord of the Rings Gollum, Hogwarts Legacy, RE-Verse, Gotham Knights, God of War Ragnarok, Midnight Suns, Horizon Forbidden West, and that's just to name a few. And I mean, whilst I don't mind it, because we've seen with certain games, Cyberpunk 2077, to give a small example, that has launched with not enough polish or care or time, and it has been a huge disappointment. And some of these games, like Hogwarts Legacy, the new God of War, I am so excited for. So if it means that they need a little bit longer in the oven to be that perfect game that we all know they can be, then I am more than happy with that, and I want the developers to take their time. It just sucks that it means we won't be able to get our hands on it for a little while longer. However, I'm sure that we will be getting lots of marketing trailers and cool shit like that to see us through the early part of this year, but the rest of this year is going to be brimming with games that I'm super excited to see. Therefore, that concludes 3 stories, the best and definitely the worst of 2021. If there's, like I said, if there's any that I've missed that you'd like to see me comment on, please put them down below, and I will definitely do a bit of research and then get back to you on that. Anyway, on to a lot more positive message: the best games of 2021. Okay, on to the next section, which is the top games of 2021, in my opinion. So we're going to start off with a game that not many of you might have heard of, but if you saw me play Little Hope last year, then you'll be interested in this one, and that is the Dark Pictures House of Ashes. The entertaining horror series continues with a new game that has a really interesting story with good characters where you genuinely feel like you are being hunted. It had it has strong replayability, and is especially fun with friends. I played it with Charlie. Did we keep everyone alive? Fuck no, we failed. But you might be able to. We loved the challenge. We died. Yeah, well, we lost someone, so we clearly died. I was about to say we died so many times, but we couldn't have. We did nearly fail several times, and those heartbeat sections are genuinely the bane of my life when I'm playing these games. If you have a spare few hours, then this is definitely worth your attention. And yeah, just a really good horror experience. I can't wait to see where they're taking the series next. I think they're doing 7, if I'm correct, and they each have a different director, and I'm really loving it so far. So I can't wait to see what the next Dark Pictures game does. I think it's probably going to come out around October time, if I'm correct. So next on my list is Mass Effect Legendary Edition, a remastered version of a great franchise. It pays homage to the games that I love so much in a respectful fashion, and with the remastered graphics, they are truly a joy to play. If you have not played Mass Effect, this is truly the definitive and best way to play these classics. Am I gutted that it's not a new Mass Effect? No, because after Andromeda, I was ready for a return to form, and this truly did it in a way that didn't alter the games too much, so that they didn't still have the same classic feel that old players and returning players would get when they're playing them, but enough that new players who may be used to the modern day's amazing and beautiful graphics can still play the games and enjoy what they have to offer now that they have been brought into the modern day. And I am truly excited to see what BioWare does next with the Mass Effect franchise, as well as Dragon Age, but I'm more of a Mass Effect boy. So yeah, BioWare, please, you've got this, I believe. Okay, going on to the next game is The Guardians of the Galaxy, a new game that came out at the back end of the year. I haven't played all of it yet, but from what I've played and what I've seen, it is great. Square Enix, you cheeky devils, you tricked us into thinking you couldn't make superhero games with Avengers. God, that was awful. However, here you are making an enjoyable, witty, and funny superhero game. I love the combat. It's very entertaining. Each of the heroes' abilities is good. They feel unique, and you genuinely feel the power. Groot's is my favorite, and Groot is amazing in this game, as you would hope. And it successfully makes you feel like a great gardener of the galaxy. God damn it, Rocket, editing my notes, you asshole. God, I really need to get on that. I think that's the second time I've done that joke. Probably. Anyway, next is Life is Strange True Colors. Once again, Life is Strange releases a new superpowered mystery, and it does not disappoint. It's funny, intriguing, surprising, and the characters are excellent. The power is really unique, being able to tap into people's emotions, and allows for a great spin on gameplay. And there are some amazing sequences to play through that I really enjoyed. I cannot wait to see the next Life is Strange game whenever that will release. I hope they do continue the franchise and keep elevating these powers to be so unique and interesting. So it's not your standard superhero game sort of thing. Alex is really lovable, and I really enjoyed playing as her and seeing her story, and all of the characters that you associate with are just so unique and feel like a real town in America. And I was really grateful to play this experience. If you haven't played it yet and like these sorts of games, then I highly recommend it. If I know a few people gave it a miss because they didn't like Life is Strange 2, I feel like this is a return to form, and it's probably my second favorite because the original Life is Strange just holds a massive place in my heart. Shout out to Max. So yeah, I can't wait to see where they take it next, and on to the next one. This one is It Takes Two, a incredible game that I got the pleasure of playing it through with the Shattered Horizons, aka Ben, and it's one of my personal highlights of the year. A truly entertaining adventure from start to finish, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to experience this. Its unique levels, powers, and mini games added to a hugely engaging story makes for a great way to spend 12 hours with your friends. And I've gone back and played the mini games with other people. They've really enjoyed it. Just it's so lovable, so amazing, and I just 10 out of 10. Loved it. Want to play it again. And you just feel for these characters that you're playing as, and watch as their relationship, which starts off as Shattered Horizons, and turns into something beautiful and amazing as you go through young love, kind of, I guess. Although there are some really dark scenes which I refuse to spoil for you, but if you play it, you'll know what I mean, and you'll know the exact scene that I'm talking about. Did they go too far? I don't think so, but maybe you do. Put down in the comments. Let me know if you played it and what you think. Now we're going on to two games that I didn't get the pleasure to play, but I am really excited to give them a shot. One of them being Resident Evil Village. I have heard from people on stream and off stream how amazing this game is. And I really wanted to play it, but unfortunately I just couldn't get around to it. The horror elements of the Resident Evil comes back with the Vampire Queen, Lady Dimitrescu. I think I butchered that name, but you know who I mean. She's been very popular on the internet for her amazing eyes. Eyes up here. And her story was very interesting. And the characters were just great. The villains, as they usually are in the Resident Evil, were very engaging and cool. And you just wanted to continue the story. And I have been watching gameplay and story bits and have been really interested. I've managed to avoid many spoilers, but I know that it follows the general Resident Evil formula, which I really enjoyed in Resident Evil 7. So it's a game I'm determined to play this year. And if you have played it, I am sure that you thoroughly enjoyed it, as almost everyone did. I'm pretty sure it won a Game Award. If not, it was nominated for quite a few. So yeah, well done, Resident Evil. I can't wait to see what RE-verse looks like, and I'm interested to see what you do with it. Finally, for the best games of 2021, we are going for Halo Infinite. I know, shocking, an Xbox fanboy picks an Xbox exclusive, but that's not why I'm doing it. After numerous delays, Halo Infinite has finally graced us with its presence, and it has gone free to play with multiplayer, which I think is an interesting take, and I'm excited to see where that takes it, whether it becomes a ultimate failure or whether it helps boost it into another level. Whilst only time will tell if this was the right move by Microsoft, I look forward to seeing how the game develops and progresses anyway, with the introduction of many new modes this year. I'm most excited to see the Forge come back, and I mean, I've heard great things about the campaign. I can't speak for it because I haven't truly played it, but I've heard that it's a return to Halo's form after I didn't personally enjoy Halo 5's campaign and I didn't actually finish it. With great characters, some of the voice lines I've heard from the grunts, what are they called? God, I can't think, but that, you know who I mean, are just hilarious. So I highly recommend, because I am going to give it a shot and definitely mess around with the gravity hammer like I did with my childhood. That sounds dodgy, but we're swiftly moving on. So that is the end of the positivity for this video, because we are going down the darkest of paths next. The top, how many games? 3. We're going to go with my top 3 worst games of 2021. Whilst not many bad games did release, there were a few. So stick with me and let's explain. So let's get on to this final section, and the one I'm most sad about, which is the top 3 worst games of 2021. So these pain me, and the first one especially hurt me and cut deep, and that is Ubisoft's Far Cry 6. I mean, Ubisoft, come on, I love Far Cry 5. It was one of my top games of all time. It still is. I love the father. I love what you did with the world. I thought it was dynamic, pretty open. The quests were great. You always had a companion by your side if it got boring. I really liked it. This game, I really did not like. I still haven't finished it. I do want to go back and try, but I don't know if I can bring myself to do it. The open world just feels lifeless. The main character is unlikable. He just whines so much and doesn't want to do things, just wants to go to America, which you can do. That's the secret ending. If you haven't tried to drive off with a boat, then I highly recommend trying, because it's a great way to end the game. The villains, beside the Anton Castillo, played by the great Giancarlo Espinosa, they're just boring. They're bland. Even Diego, the kid, I didn't really feel any association with. It's only him who puts in an award-winning performance here, and that's why I do think he did deserve the Game Award nomination. However, they're just flavorless and boring compared to, I thought, in Far Cry 5, Faith, John, and Jacob are each individually very evil and quite conniving. Each have their own unique aspects, which I thought were really cool. These villains don't have that. They're just the same thing. So that's quite disappointing. They've removed Guns for Hire. It's now just Fangs for Hire, which, whilst I do love me some animals, I also liked having one animal and one human with you. I thought that was a great dynamic and made for some interesting team mixes that I thought was really cool in Far Cry 5. So I was really upset that they removed that. It also made the open world there feel less lifeless, if that makes sense, because you had someone with you all the time who they'd do some voice lines now and then, and that was what I needed. They've added level caps to regions like they do in Assassin's Creed, which I think is a big mistake because it just removes your freedom completely. And I hate grinding and having to do every single outpost or what's it called, military target before you can progress to the next section. It really annoys me. So that was another negative thing for me. Some people might really like it because it forces you to grind, but grinding's just not my thing. So I personally didn't like that choice. They've removed the perk system, which I really just don't understand why they did that. It worked. It made your character customization interesting, and you could play the game differently to how your friend does. Now you are forced to play the same generic way, which is just kind of upsetting. However, they did add further base customization, which they took from New Dawn, and have added it slightly into this game, but to a much smaller scale, which again I just didn't like. You can't upgrade your main base, only the one splintering off in the individual regions, which I just don't understand their decisions. Overall, I'd say it's a game with so much potential, but once again, Ubisoft subjects to itself to its formula and has released a substandard game. As someone who loves this franchise, I'm hopeful for the next game and I hope that it will be a significant overhaul once again, with different things that I love and different things that I dislike. But then again, it is Ubisoft, so we'll have to see. But Ubisoft, my eyes are on you. Don't fuck this up anymore. You've already messed up Assassin's Creed, so keep it going. Battlefield 2042 is the next one. I am not even going to give that game an introduction. You all know that it sucked. They tried to become a Call of Duty copier because they saw that they were making more money, and that just takes everything that you love about Battlefield and removes it. So I gave it a miss this year. The reviews and player feedback basically described it as a polished shit with redeemable qualities, and that being the graphics, which DICE has always done great anyway, so it's no shock that they once again hit it on the head with graphics, so well done for that. However, the multiplayer was filled with bugs, and the gameplay was just generic and boring. Everyone was running the same loadout because they were the only good weapons in a game. The specialist didn't feel unique or important. You couldn't build a class. It just felt like COD. They removed everything that made Battlefield, and that just sucks. I'm really disappointed. And I hope that they have a look at themselves and players and their community. EA, come on. And the next one they release is something that they've taken the time to really craft and enjoy. And hopefully they can take their time on it. They don't have to release one next year. Just make a great Battlefield game with a good campaign. I know that's a highly controversial topic, but I think a campaign never goes awry. And I think a good campaign with strong characters and a multiplayer that is fun with modes that truly feel unique and different, and where you can easily get in a team and just hash it out. And I think that's where they need to do Battlefield, and just let Battlefield be Battlefield. Leave COD to be COD, and each will have their fans, and that's how it is. You're a big company. You can afford to lose a few Call of Duty fanboys. Okay? Come on, EA. I believe in you. And the final one really hurts because I love the company. They've released some near perfect games. This is almost like a Cyberpunk 2077 level cock up, and that is the Rockstar trilogy, or the GTA trilogy, as it should be, as it should be named. Rockstar, no. This game should have been a clean win. You take three beloved classics and just bring them into the modern world. Look at Mass Effect Remastered, smashed it out of the bag. First three, is it the first three? Or the three GTA 5, the three GTAs in this game. And we're so disappointed that it's almost worse and more unpolished than how they launched in their original forms. I just don't understand how Rockstar, of all people, who are known for releasing pretty bug-free games, have managed to do this. I'm just really, really disappointed, and I hope Rockstar take the time and just fix their mistake, which they, to be fair to them, they do seem to be doing with patches and making it free for PC gamers, or giving free games, even not making it free. And that's commendable. I'm glad they're acting on it quickly, and they know they've made a mistake. But Rockstar, you're better than this. You can do better than this, okay? Mwah. I love you. Please stay good. Stay on the good side. So there we go. The first episode of the Echoverse Unlimited show is over. I hope you enjoyed it, and any feedback is appreciated, whether it's from how I spoke to the information I included. What you didn't like will, if it's put in a constructive way, will go a long way to help me shape these early episodes and building something that we can all be really proud of and enjoy as a community. And I hope that that is something that this show can do. If you liked this YouTube style, it is the first time me doing something like this, then please do let me know, and I'm more than willing to do more exclusive series to YouTube. We've obviously got new plays on Twitch, this on YouTube, so if you prefer YouTube, do let me know. But I'm not giving up the streaming gig just yet. Yeah, so next week's episode will be announced on Wednesday on the stream. So that you guys can get hyped for that once I can have a think about what I want to do properly. So that's my deadline for that. It will also be then announced on Twitter as well, so that we have it all firmed up. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this, and I can't wait to see where this road takes us. Enjoy your start to the week, and I will see you on the next video or stream, whatever I catch you on. Stay noisy, and I love you all. Goodbye.